Oh boy, this one might rouse some people up, and that's why I'm gonna do it. Let's go. What's going on, everybody? It's me, Golden Blue Dude. Friendly reminder, if you haven't already, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button. I do videos every single day. So, I decided to do a video that's a little controversial, just a little bit. And that's phrases, fight songs, nicknames, logos, mascots that are coming off as offensive and are slowly being removed. First of all, we had the Native American issue, mainly the Washington Redskins. Now the Washington football team, they're working on a new mascot. They said the term Redskins was offensive to Native Americans, but the reason Washington named their football team that is because Redskins is actually a term for Native Americans who were ready for war. So they were implicating that their football team was ready to go to war on the football field. But of course, it was taken into a different context and it was removed. They're moving on. Then you have the Seminoles for Florida State. They are a Native American tribe who settled in Florida and the surrounding areas. Very fierce, very courageous Native American tribe. And that's why Florida State made their mascot the Seminoles. Of course, that's offending some Native Americans, and that name could get removed in the coming years. We'll see how that goes. Real question, I'm serious about this. Is Notre Dame's mascot offensive to people from Ireland who are Irish? The Fighting Irish? That's the slippery slope I'm talking about. And then there's Texas and Oklahoma. So for Texas, it's about their song, The Eyes of Texas. And the big thing that gets brought up is the first performance of The Eyes of Texas featured blackface performances, which is not good. I do not condone that. But that was over 100 years ago, and it happened once. Every time they sing The Eyes of Texas, they're not thinking of that instance. They're not connecting that to that particular instance. I mean, if you think about it, if you go back far enough, you can pretty much connect anything to something offensive, racist, sexist, biased, whatever you want to call it. But in this day of being politically correct, people do that. They go back way, way, way back and like, oh, see, this is connected to that. You can't say that. And trust me, I'm against racism, sexism, being biased, all that stuff. There's no place in society for that. But you can't really take out every single name that can be connected to this and then eventually connect it to something that's offensive. That's going down a slippery slope. And then there's Oklahoma, the term boomer sooner. The term sooner were used for white people that settled the Midwest and had early claims. They got the claim sooner, so they were called Sooners. And then the term boomers were used for white people who were advocating that Oklahoma be opened up for settling for white people. So they were called boomers. Boomer sooner. So they're tying that into white Americans taking over Native American lands and kind of, pushing them out, which a lot of controversy has happened in American history. But really, when Oklahoma alum and fans say boomer sooner, they're not really thinking about that. They're thinking about their state, Oklahoma. They're known for the boomer sooners. Basically, we're going to claim the Big 12 title before anybody. We're going to claim the national championship before anybody. It's in that direction. They're not really thinking about what people are tying it to. That happened a long time ago. Point is really this, and I said it before. If you go back far enough, you can connect any sort of phrase, any sort of song, mascot, logo. If you go back far enough, you can tie it to some type of controversy. And that's just heading down a slippery slope. Why can't we just agree to not be racist towards each other? To me, it's more about actions, not words. Treat others the way you want to be treated. If we go down this road, a lot of things are going to change as far as names of schools, possibly names of states. Because if you think about it, some states are named in reference to some sort of race, Native American, something like that. Actual names of states. I think Oklahoma is actually one of those names. And it's not just that. Some states were named after people like rulers, kings that were controversial. Are those states going to change their names as well? So how far do we have to go to make sure we're not offending anybody? Because that's what this is all about. Everybody's trying to make sure that nobody says anything or thinks anything that could even be taken as offensive. Doesn't matter if the person or people weren't intending to be offensive. It's how the people take it. If they take it as offensive, then it's got to be changed. This is a very hot, debatable, and controversial subject, so I would really like your input on this. That's all I got for you for this show. Like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you on my next show, hopefully.